Hey, Wellness Warriors. If you are anything like most of the world right now, you are probably ready to kiss 2020 goodbye. Am I right? Well, if that's the case, you are in the right place because today what I want to share with you is really how can you plan for the year ahead so that you can rock your goals in your business. And while it's nearing the end of 2020 now, just know that these tips can be used sort of throughout the year and can be used for any new year that's getting ready to start. So let's get to it. Hi, my name's Laura Albers. I am the mindset and business coach. I am the Clear Your Plate coach, owner of Albers Mind and Body Wellness. I'm a mental health therapist and a master certified wellness coach with the International Association of Wellness Professionals. And in today's video, I want to share with you 6 tips to rock your goals in your business in the year ahead. All right, so tip number 1 is to look backwards to move forwards. Okay, so basically what you really want to do is look at the previous year. And if you're just starting out, if this is year 1 in your business, no worries. You can still sort of be answering these questions as best you can for the year ahead. But basically you want to look back and, see what sort of projects or things did you do that really lit you up? What things really ignited your passion? What things really had that impact, and also what things really were the revenue generating goals or projects or tasks that really brought in sort of the most either money or list building. What tasks were most impactful for you, and then which ones were most enjoyable. So that's number 1, is to really get clear on what really lit you up in the past year. Also, take note of the things that you didn't really care for. What things really, even if they weren't like a total flop, what things just really, you just really didn't feel very passionate about, just really didn't connect maybe with your ideal clients, that sort of thing. So get really clear on what that year was, the previous year, so that you can move forward and really get clear on what you want to do in the year ahead. All right, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to identify your overall business categories. Okay, so for me, for example, I love to kind of just sit with like 3 main goals, and mine is a revenue generating goal, a list generating goal or list building goal, and then a personal or like a self-care or family health type goal. So everything that I do sort of falls into one of those 3 categories. And so what you want to do is like identify what are those categories for you. Obviously, if you're in business for yourself, you hopefully have some kind of business building or revenue generating goal. If not, my guess is you may not be in business too long. So the truth is, as much as we want to have an amazing impact in the world and really serve people, we can't do that if we're not able to generate some kind of income. So you should definitely have some kind of revenue generating goal. And then for most of you guys, especially as coaches, which is who I primarily serve, having some sort of list building goal so that you can bring people into your audience and into your world, sort of your raving fans, should also be a goal. Okay, so once you've identified what your, top, 2 to maybe 5 goals are, then under each of those goals, then you can identify what are the top projects or tasks or goals that you have underneath those goals. So essentially, how are you going to reach those goals for the year ahead? Okay, so that's tip number 2, is to identify your overall business categories. And then tip number 3, and this kind of goes along with a little bit of what I was just saying, like once you've identified what your top 3 or 2 to 5, overall big goals are, then underneath you want to brainstorm all possible opportunities and sort of all your big ideas and dream big here under each of those categories. So going back to step number 1, look back on the things that you really enjoyed in the year ahead or the previous year or maybe even years before that. And then get really clear on what it is that you want to do in the year ahead to reach those overall big goals. So that is tip number 3. And a bonus here, leave judgment at the door. Like, don't worry just yet, like how you're going to make those goals happen, because that's actually, jumping to step number 4, which is to identify what support you're going to need, or basically like how you're going to get there, how you're going to reach those goals. So does it mean that you maybe need to hire a virtual assistant? Or maybe another team member? Does it mean that you need to take some sort of training or possibly even go back to school? Does it mean you need to hire a business coach? So think about those supports that you're going to need to get to those goals. So that is tip number 4. All right, tip number 5 is to break it down into sub-steps and then schedule it. Okay, so as I mentioned, you're going to have these big overall goals, and you're going to have these sort of sub-steps underneath each of those goals. And then you want to look at like breaking everything down so it's small little bite-sized pieces or bite-sized steps to reach those bigger goals. One of the main reasons that we often struggle with achieving our goals is because we get overwhelmed. We don't know where to start. So, this really helps being able to, get started, to get momentum, and to keep moving forward when you break things down into really small pieces. So instead of just the goal being, build my list, or even like create a new program, I'm going to break those things down into probably at least 3, if not maybe 10 or 12 or more steps, however many steps I need. But I'm going to break it down into really small bite-sized pieces so that most days, or at least, weekly, I'm going to be able to make some sort of progress towards those goals. And then the last part of that, as I mentioned, is to schedule it. So, what you don't schedule doesn't get done. At least that's true for most of us. So I really encourage you to, as you're planning for the year ahead, to go ahead and schedule these tasks and these projects and these goals. Go ahead and schedule them into your calendar. All right, and the final tip that I want to share with you today is to regularly evaluate. Okay, so when I say regularly, that at least needs to be quarterly. And I actually recommend having 90-day goals so that you're not just setting, one set of goals for the entire year, but you're actually breaking down the year into smaller sort of mini goals as well. So you're going to be regularly evaluating these goals. What steps have you taken to move forward on these goals? What obstacles or challenges, if any, have there been? And then you can problem solve through those challenges and obstacles. And then if you need to sort of reevaluate maybe what's not working and then sort of pivot, or if you've completed one of the goals and you want to add something new, or if a new project comes up, things like that, you want to be regularly scheduling time to reevaluate your goals. And I would actually recommend, definitely at least quarterly that you're doing this. But, ideally you want to be doing this weekly. And then really bonus points, to be doing this daily so that all of your tasks, your to-dos, just your focus and your energy and your attention is really highlighted and like narrowly focused on these top goals so that you're always moving forward, but not just on busy work, but you're moving forward on the things that are really going to move you forward in your business. All right, so I hope these tips really help you to rock the year ahead. Post below in the comments. Let me know your questions. Let me know what maybe some of your biggest goals are for the year ahead. If you have any tips that you want to share as far as how you rock your goals, I would love to hear it. All right. And also, if you need some help with, getting clear on what your goals are and being able to stick with your goals, day to day, week to week, month after month, then grab my free customizable productivity templates. You can find that in the links below. You can also go to my website. It's www.alberswellness.com, where you can get my free customizable productivity templates. All right, thank you so much for watching, and please consider subscribing to the IAWP's Wellness YouTube channel. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye for now.